So boom, let me start from the beginning. So I originally booked an appointment with a girl that I go to all the time. She always do my hair. She's been doing my hair for over a year now. So my appointment was for 9 a.m. this morning. She texted me at 11 p.m. last night. She like, I got an 11 a.m. appointment. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do your hair. Like, she booked 2 weeks in advance. First of all, I pay my deposit just like everybody else. I don't care how long she booked in advance. I should still be able to get my time. I'm like, okay, like, so should I come earlier? She don't respond. This morning I text her when I get up on my way. I'm like, I'm on my way. She like, I can't do your hair this early. I gotta take my daughter to school. Like, I'm on the way. I just said I'm on the way. Like, now is not the time to be canceling an appointment. It is taking forever to send back a deposit. I'm like, so I call up to the salon or whatever. I guess the owner, whoever answered the phone, she tried to hook me up with another stylist. So I get there, one stylist wash and blow dry me. She charged me $20 to do that. That's cool. I was gonna tip her for doing that anyway. But then another stylist, she like, well, I'm gonna do your hair. So I wait on her to get there. I wait about an hour for her to get there. She get there, she started a little bit, she got a client. Okay, cool, I'm not tripping. I know I'm last minute, I'm gonna squeeze in, I'm gonna walk in. Okay, cool, take your time. So that's when I posted, like, I was there for 5 hours. So at 5 hours, she was still working on her other client. So boom, she finally finished. It's my turn, and as y'all can see, this is how I'm leaving. She like, well, can you come back? But my thing is, if you didn't know what you was doing, you should have never agreed to do it. Because originally I was supposed to go get that Cassie hairstyle with the braids on the side, quick weave on the other side. That's what I was going for. But I changed my mind because I'm like, that's gonna take too long. I'm supposed to be at work. I'm supposed to be working 4 o'clock. It's 4:45. I'm just not leaving. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, yeah, I pay her because I'm not finna cause no scene up in them people's place. Like, she did still do it, whatever. Like, I asked for something off. She's like, I can do $100. So shit, I just gotta take the $100, and that's just what it is. Like, but I'm pissed. Like, never again. And where I went to, Bellanique Hair in Stafford off 2234. Yeah, don't recommend. Like, the other girl used to do my hair, she did a good job doing my hair, don't get me wrong, but no tea, no shade. Customer service is terrible, absolutely terrible. I would never recommend her to nobody. Like, this is absolutely insane. So first of all, look at my motherfucking head. Look at my head. Look at my... Moral of the story is, I paid $100 for this bullshit. My original stylist came in there around 12. Then went ahead and left. So you didn't have an 11 a.m. You lied. And mind you, the whole time I was very patient. I was very respectful to everybody. I thanked all of them for accommodating me last minute because they didn't have to. But why would you play in my head? Like, I walked out. I had literal tears in my eyes. I cried in the people shop at SMA Big H. I was crying about my hair. And so the owner texts me a message not even a couple of minutes after I posted them and tagged them on Instagram. But I just feel like y'all one band, one sound. This is your salon. These are your stylists. Your stylists represent you. This is who you decide to represent your brand. You got unprofessional stylists who cancel appointments at the time of the appointments. You got stylists who don't know what they doing and play in people's head. And then you mad at me for saying something about it. I gave the girl the money. I paid the lady. She's old enough to be, she seemed like a professional. So I paid her. I gave her money. What's the issue? I didn't have a good experience at your salon. Well, you recommended me to these stylists. I didn't know these ladies. I'm just thinking everybody trying to help me. The girl who washed my hair, she was super sweet, super nice. I liked her. I would have had her do my hair, but she was too busy. On top of your stylist being unprofessional, you unprofessional. Why would you text me? Why would you text me and threaten me?
This is going to be a very quick story time, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong or not. I was supposed to be getting my hair done at 3 p.m. today. I made the appointment on Tuesday to get my hair done for Saturday. When I originally called on Tuesday, I told the girl that I wanted small knotless braids down to my butt, and she said that it was going to be $350. I thought that was a little bit absurd because I clarified that I didn't really want small braids. I wanted like small, medium, and she said $350. Keep in mind, I'm going to the African salon. Typically, the Africans are a little bit cheaper than these Instagram stylists. Now, I am in the military, so I was a little bit concerned about being able to put my hair in a bun that would be in standard. So I said, you know what? I don't want them down to my butt. So I sent her a picture last night and I said, hey, actually, I just want these not down to my butt though. How much are they going to cost? I'm a little bit confused about how going from mid back to butt was an additional $130, but I don't say anything. I say, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Now, we're at the day of the appointment. I'm running a few minutes behind. I text her and let her know that I'm running late. My appointment started at 3 and I got there at 3:15. As soon as I get there, she tells me to have a seat in the hallway. So I was running late, but she was also running late. She looks at my hair color and she asked me if I want to use the color 1B for my hair. And I say, sure, 1B is fine as long as you tuck it. Because as you can see, my hair is brown. So it obviously has to be tucked if you don't have this hair color. She says, well, the girl that's about to start on your hair doesn't know how to tuck. So I'm confused because how is this girl going to start on my hair and she doesn't know how to tuck and my hair clearly needs to be tucked, right? So then I say, well, if she doesn't know how to tuck, then you should be the one doing my hair because it needs to be tucked. And she looks at me with the straightest face, y'all, and says, I'm busy. What do you mean you're busy? I booked the appointment with you. Why are you going to have someone else start on my hair, especially if they don't know how to tuck hair? So then I'm like, okay, well, and I'm like looking at her like, what do you want me to do? So then she says, okay, fine. Closes the door. Mind y'all, I'm sitting in the hallway and every time she has something to say to me, she opens the door, talks to me, and when she finishes, she closes the door back. So she closes the door back, and then she opens the door. That girl that's supposed to be starting on my hair peeks her head out, and she's like, oh my God, is that all your hair? Yeah. And she's like, oh, I thought it was a wig. And I'm like, no, like, this is all my hair, obviously. Because why would I come to a braid appointment with a wig on? She's complimenting my hair, and she was super, super sweet. So cool. The braider then opens the door and she says, do you still want to use 1B hair? And I say again, yes, I do want to use 1B hair. And she's like, okay, well, it's going to be extra. It's going to cost extra. And I say, okay, well, how much extra? She says it's going to be $250 in total. Okay, maybe I just haven't had my hair braided in a long time. Actually, this is my first time having my hair braided after coloring my hair. So I don't really know like how much braiders charge to tuck. But I say, okay, whatever. That's fine. But it was kind of crazy how my total jumped from $350 to $220 and now I'm back up to $250. But I didn't say anything. I'm still sitting in the hallway in this chair. A few minutes go by and another woman from the suite walks out. Instantly, I'm like, where are these people coming from? There's already like 4 people in the suite and I'm still seeing more. It's a very small suite, y'all. The suite is not that big. For one, anytime the Africans braid my hair, obviously it's not super comfortable because, you know, like they really braid tight. So I try to do things to make sure that I'm as comfortable as I can be. I bring my iPad, I brought food, but being around so many people in a small room when my head is already hurting, I was kind of like, I don't really like that. So a few minutes go by and a lady walks out of the salon. I'm sitting on my phone, kind of like looking, watching people pass by, but I'm mostly on my phone. The lady comes back through and looks at me like up and down, looks at my hair and rolls her eyes. She gives me like the worst look I've ever seen in my life, y'all. And I'm like, dang, I don't even know this lady. Like, I just moved to this place. I don't even know this lady. Why is she looking at me like that? So she looks at me and she's like, so I look at her back and I'm like, the fuck? She keeps walking. She goes back into the salon and they close the door. They start talking. They're talking in another language. I don't know what language they're talking in, but it's making me so uncomfortable because like they'll say something to me and then she'll say something to them and they'll either like start laughing. And then that lady came out and mugged me. So I'm instantly kind of like, I'm not really feeling it. So then I'm just sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I don't want them to do my hair. Like their energy is off. I don't like it. So I'm just going to go. But I really didn't want confrontation. I didn't want conflict. So I just like kind of like grab my bag, I grab my keys, and I'm just sitting there. And then I just get up and I just like speed walk out. I get in the car, I drive off. The lady texts me and she's like, hello dear, where are you? No, don't be nice to me now because a few minutes ago, she was kind of being rude. She was giving attitude. I didn't like her tone. And then she tries to call me. Y'all, I never blocked somebody so fast in my life. I blocked her and I kept going. I drove all the way home. Now, y'all, riddle me this. I drove all the way home. I didn't want them playing in my hair. Now look at my hair. What am I supposed to do to my hair? So I'm here sitting in my car trying to figure out what I'm going to do to my hair. My appointment was for today. There's nobody that's going to be available to do my hair for today. So, yeah.
Okay, story time on how I went to go get my hair done and I didn't like it. I was trying to make a cute little TikTok, but scratch that. So my appointment was at 8:30 yesterday. I made it to her at 8:30, but she came late. But when she came, it was somebody in a chair getting a wig done or whatever. So I'm in there for like an hour and 30 minutes, y'all. My job, she still haven't touched my hair. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back tomorrow. So, well, she was like, can you come back in the morning? Because I was like, I'm about to leave. So I came back in the morning. She was like 15 minutes late. So she started on my hair or whatever. Oh, and then yesterday when I was there, she kept on leaving. Well, she left like 2 times, like kept leaving the other client. So she doing my wig or whatever. I wanted a 26 inch, but I thought I booked for a 26 inch. But I'm like, do you have any like 26 inches available? Because the wig was like real short. But I'm just like, okay, I'll just settle for this wig or whatever, as long as it eat. So we getting it done. My motherfucking head hurt. Shit, she's scratching the shit out of my shit. And my fucking piercing. She hit the piercing hard as hell. But yeah, I don't really get wigs for real. So I'm thinking like, okay, it's looking good. Until I called my friend after I got done getting it done. I'm like, do this look right? She like, girl, no, she did not pluck it or bleach it. You can see all the like black dots coming out of it or whatever. So I'm like, bro, I did not peep. Like when I was getting it done, I didn't peep. And I didn't peep. She didn't put makeup on it either, y'all. Like I straight did not peep. Like I don't get wigs for them. And when I do, she do it. Or like, you know, like, I don't know, they be eating. But I wasn't really paying attention. I know y'all probably like, you recording, like, you seen your hair looking a mess. But I straight didn't. Like, I straight didn't, y'all. I didn't see until I went in the car and I straight looked in my mirror, like, up close. I'm like, this don't look right. But I did end up texting her and I'm like, yeah, I'm not satisfied with my service, this and that, or whatever. She was just like, yeah, I don't do refunds. I'm like, yeah, I don't need a refund. I'm just asking, like, can you give me half of my money back or whatever. But she was just like, nah. And she was like, I was like, because it don't look like you really bleached it. She was like, I don't bleach my client's wig like that. I bleach it, but I don't bleach it a lot, this and that. But this is us talking on the phone. I'm going to insert our messages too, but we had got on the phone too. So she like, yeah, I don't refund. I'm like, okay, whatever. God bless you. Like, okay. But I don't like my service. So she had offered to like redo it or like reinstall it once I took this wig off and re-bleaching and stuff. But it's just like, I don't want you touching my head at all. Like, I don't even want you back in my head at all, to be honest, because you know this looked at a mess and you know you didn't pluck, you know you didn't put no makeup on it, you know you ain't do nothing. Like, and then the back looked bulky. It looked like I got a helmet on my head and it just wasn't giving. And bro, I straight didn't pay attention closely to my hair before I left. Like, I'm thinking it's cute, but it's just short. But I'm like, I'll curl it. But I had ended up sending her the pictures or whatever. And she said this. And then she wanted to charge me an extra $5 because I didn't have full cash. I'm like, you was late to the appointment. Like, I'm not giving you an extra $5. So she like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. And I'm like, and yesterday I was sitting here for like an hour and 30 minutes. And she was like, oh, well, you could have not came today, this and that. But it's just like, she was like, I would have sent you your deposit back. And I was like, you was in the chair. Like, she was talking to her other client. She was like, yeah, I don't do refundable deposits. I don't do refundable deposits. So I'm just like, okay, I'm about to go. So she was like, come back in the morning. So I'm like, okay, cool. Because shit, I ain't going to get my deposit back. So I might as well get my hair done. But I thought it was going to eat. But yeah, I just feel like as a hairstylist, I'm a hairstylist. And I just feel like as a hairstylist, if you inconvenience of people's time, you should give them like a discount or, you know, something, a free hairstyle, something off. Shit, not trying to charge extra fees and shit. What the fuck?
When I tell y'all, look at my head right now. Look at my head. Like, I cannot make this shit up. I literally cannot make this shit up. You would think by now that I would have learned my lesson to stop going to these ATL hairstylists, but I really thought that something bad couldn't happen to me the second time because I was going to be prompt and I was going to be exact. I'm in my car now so I can tell you guys what the fuck just happened to me. So I booked with Majesty Key Styles yesterday, okay, for today. I asked her before I booked, because I'm trying to like cross my T's, dot my I's, blah, blah, blah. I asked her before I booked, I was like, hey, are your slots actually available? Like if I book at 12:15, am I going to be able to be and get my hair done at 12:15? Like, are these legit slots? She replies back and she's like, yes. So I'm like, bam, boom. I booked for 12:15. Someone next to me is blasting music. So next day rolls around. I make sure, because I don't know if you guys remember me from the last time this happened to me, I made sure I was on time. I showed up here at 12:15. 12:15 on the dot. I get to the door, okay? I get to the door's locked. Somebody else comes, I text her and I'm like, hey, like, I'm here. Some other hairstylist comes out and opens the door. So naturally, like, I follow her into the room and she's like, oh, no, you're in the next room. Key's in the next room. I walk into the next room, which by the way is this small ass room, and Key has somebody sitting in her chair. Now, mind you, to give her the benefit of the doubt, I thought it was still possible because she was almost done with this girl's hair, okay? She was almost done. It was a sew-in. All she had to do was like straighten the leave out and put some curls in it. Bam, boom. So while she's doing that, another girl comes in and she's like, sit down. We're in a small ass room, by the way. Our knees are like basically my knees and the other girl's knees are fucking knocking. Like they're sitting right next to each other, okay? This girl starts this. She starts this situation right here, okay? And I'm a little bit unsettled, just a little bit. I usually go with the flow, but I'm a little bit unsettled because she's asking Key, the main stylist, kind of like, how do you part it? Like, is this right? Is this how I do it? And I'm like, I booked Key for a reason, for her like style, like the way she does hair. So it's kind of annoying that this girl doesn't really know what she's doing, but whatever, I digress. I'm going to just keep pushing forward, whatever. So after stylist 2, not Key, is done with this, she takes me to a back room separate from the room that we're in. And when we get back there, there's another girl sitting with, just like me, with the cap on underneath the dryer, and that I hadn't seen. I was like, damn, how long has she been back here? Like, what has she been doing? I hope that's not about to be me, you know, because I got shit I gotta do, okay? So she gets up, she goes into the room with Key, okay? I sit down in the dryer, and this shit's blasting air. It's hot as fuck, but I'm like, whatever, like, maybe that's her person, like stylist 2's person. It's not Key's person, because as I was sitting there, I saw the girl that I had first came in and saw leave. She had left. So I was like, okay, clearly I'm next. Great. We're making perfect timing. I'll be able to get out of here and then pick up my son from school. Boom. 45 fucking minutes goes by. I'm like, it's getting kind of late. I'm 45 minutes away from home. I drove 45 minutes away from home. I have to pick up my son from the bus stop at 3. Atlanta traffic is wild. So I was just like, maybe I should let her know, like, hey, like, my appointment was at 12:15 for a reason. Like, that's why I asked you, because on your website, it says quick weave, 45 minutes. So I had plenty of time in my mind, because that's what she put on her website, right? So I'm sitting there and I text her that. I'm like, hey, just a heads up, you know, I gotta be out of here by 2. You know, I gotta pick up my son from the bus stop. Like, let me know what's up. Meanwhile, the hairdryer is still blowing on my fucking neck. And she sends me a text and she's like, hey, that's not gonna be possible. I wish you would have told me. I wish you would have told me? Ma'am, I specifically asked you. I asked you if the slots that you had on your website were actual slots that I can book and it be accurate and it be on time. That's why I asked that, okay? So the moment I got that text message, honey, I was in that back room. I got my ass up and I walked into there. And sure enough, she was working on the girl that was underneath the dryer. Like, you're almost 2-3 hours behind your 12:15 slot. By this time, it's like 1:30, 1:35. I'm like, what are you doing? I look at her and I'm like, yeah, like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, well, you know, I wish you would have told me. And honey, I was very nice. I was very kind, because I always am. But I was like, no, ma'am. I booked for 12:15. I also messaged you for this reason, so that I knew I would get this time, so that I could time this purposely, so that I could get home to my son. My son gets off the bus. Okay, I didn't know there was gonna be 2-3 people ahead of me, and I was gonna have to be waiting an extra 4 hours to get my hair done. If it was a normal occasion and it was a normal day, maybe I would do that, okay? But no, I gotta go pick up my son. She's still trying to be like, well, if you would have told me. Ma'am! She looks at me and she's like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do your hair by 2 o'clock. I'm standing here in the doorway looking like this, thinking, really? How am I gonna get this off my head? I mean, I could go home and wash it, blah, 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 but I'm like, what in the hell? She did offer after I was like, can you take it off for me? Because at first she was just like, oh, it comes off with water. That was her first response. I was like, bitch, I'm not about to walk outside looking like this. And then I was like, you know what? I am going to walk outside and look like this so I can film this video. Because I want y'all to see that I'm not lying. And I did nothing wrong this time, y'all. Nothing wrong at all. I was on time. She wasn't on time. She wasn't on time. And now my hair looks like this. This is what I get for not going just to 5-star weaves. This is what I get. Oh, listen, never again. Never again. I have officially 100%, okay, take my ass to the moon and back, learned my lesson.
Story time on how a scammer hairstylist steals money out my account months after the appointment date. Let's get it. $40. Come on now. Yo, this is gonna be a long ass story. Buckle up, get the popcorn ready. So this is the hairstylist that I went to claim by. It's like terrible. Do not go to this lady ever again. She broke, she's a scammer. Everything, all the above. I just want to start off this video by saying I'm not trying to bash anybody, I'm just spreading awareness about what happened. Okay, y'all, first red flag. As soon as we get there, we was waiting at least 10 to 15 minutes. I even texted her and messaged her just to let her know. And she says, oh, can you get a head cap from across the street? I literally just got back in and forgot to get one. I'll discount them $1. First of all, the head cap that we went to wasn't even $1, it was $3. And why are you telling your client to get your supplies? What's going on? And guys, the tea is hot. It turns out she was next door at a juice bar. Big Back wanted a drink. We ended up going to next door and getting the head cap, but we was unsure on which head cap to get because we didn't know. We didn't know what head caps are good for someone. So I sent her a picture and showed her, oh, is this the one? No response. She did not respond at all. I said it multiple times. I was like, whatever, if you're not going to respond, I'm not going to get that head cap. You know how to do it. This is the image of the head cap. We finally meet the hairstylist. Let me tell y'all, she looks a mess. She then leads us into her suite, and it was just this small shoe box. You can only fit 3 people max in her suite. Only 3 people. And it was dirty. It was filthy in here. Her tools were filthy. It looked like it never been cleaned, washed, nothing. It had dust on it. Like, look at the dust. Like, ew. It had dust. Her things was falling apart. Her things was literally falling apart and coming off the shelf. Literally. And more. It's falling off. Everything's coming down. So I was sitting in her chair just bawling my eyes out and crying because this lady went back and forth with my mom complaining about my breakdown, saying it was too loose when my breakdown looked perfectly fine. It was not too loose. It was tight. It was good. And even prior to that, let me show you. Even prior, before the appointment date, I messaged her, hey, I'm going to do the breakdown myself. Is there a particular pattern that you follow? And she said that I can come braid it, that it was fine. Why is she complaining? That's when I realized that this lady was cool. She finishes my hair, and this is what the lace is looking like. Did y'all see that properly? Take it out. Where the lace? Right there. Right there. Right there, where the lace? Can y'all find the lace? Right there, right there. Anyways, this lady destroys my lace. She overbleached my knots, and it looked a mess. You can still see, she overbleached the middle of my knots. She overbleached the middle of my hair, and she didn't even bleach my knots properly. You can still see the little black dots. Terrible. Near towards the end of the appointment, she then starts weirdly recording me. I'm here thinking, oh, maybe she's trying to upload me to her Instagram. So I say, oh, no pictures, because I do not like it at all. I don't like it. I'm bawling my eyes out. Why are you recording me? And she's like, oh, I'm videoing for evidence. I'm videoing for evidence that you liked it. Liked it where? I'm crying in the video. Where am I liking it at? As we were trying to pay, we then took out the $205 in cash, as said in the website. We owed $205, and we paid a $30 deposit. That was the money that we brought, because that is the thing. Because that is the money that was due on the website. Keep in mind, June 6th, I asked her if lace customization was included into the appointment, meaning dyeing the knots and plucking. She said, oh, exactly that. Nowhere did she state that there was a $40 same-day customization fee, or did she mention that you had to drop off the lace somewhere. Even on the policy, there is nothing that says that there's a $40 same-day lace customization fee. Nowhere. It does not say that anywhere. As we were trying to pay, she then adds on a $40 same-day lace customization fee that we never knew about. She didn't tell us at the beginning of the appointment that there was a fee. She didn't tell us in the middle, and she definitely did not tell us earlier. So she's just upcharging the price out of nowhere. And my mom stood on business. She was like, no, you're going to get that $25. That was stated on the website. You did not tell us about a same-day customization fee in the beginning. You did not tell us in the middle. You did not tell us beforehand. So yeah, you're going to get that $25. We're going to go. So this lady proceeds to threaten to call the cops. And guess what? We called the cops right on back. Yes, hell, we're being held hostage. Yes, we called the cops right on back. Bookie. We informed the officers that she said in text message that the lace customization fee was included in the appointments and that she's randomly upcharging prices out of nowhere. And guess what? The officers were on our side. They did not agree with her. That little wretched creature right there. They did not agree with her, and they just told us to just walk away. We didn't even end up paying the add-on $40. We just walked away and just went on with our business. Y'all, tell me why was this lady running off into the other building? You know what you did, and you're embarrassed. Yes, Bookie, you're embarrassed. The police was not fooled by you, Bookie. No, you did not get that $40 back then. You did not, Bookie. Clock that. So y'all, tell me why I got an email notifying me that $40 was taken out my account by the same lady, the same hairstylist, Hair by Slay, August 11th, when my appointment that I booked her was in June 18th. This lady was hunting down for those $40 for 2 months straight. This lady made a reminder on her phone every single day to charge my card. $40 every single day, this broke ass lady. And at the time, the reason why I knew that she was going to try to charge my card, but I took the risk because I had to go back to school and I needed some clothes, and I needed some money to buy some clothes, food, whatever, and my mom put $200 in my account for that reason. And she, obviously, she's broke. She's broke. She's getting no clients. She's not booked and busy. If she has enough time to charge my card for 2 months straight, that's ridiculous. But I'm not really too pressed over the issue because I got refunded $40 and there's an ongoing investigation about it. We did report it as fraud, so they're going to call us back whether it's true or not.
You never think it can happen to you, but here I am with my very own story time about how my hair got ruined and how it went from this to this, and I had to chop it all off while I finish this bracelet. So just to preface, I don't need any kind of shoulda, coulda, woulda. The story, it's over and done now, everything that happened. So I don't need no you shoulda did this, you coulda did that, none of that. Okay, let's get into it. So a year ago, I went and got a balayage service done at a Dominican salon in Kennesaw. And everything went just fine. And it had grown out, it had been a year, so I'm like, I wanna touch my color up. So I'm gonna insert a picture of what my hair looked like after I got the balayage service last year. It looked just fine, like, so I'm like, why shouldn't I go back to the same salon and get the same thing done? So I went back to the Dominican salon, and the same lady that did it last year was there, but she wasn't the lady that serviced me that time. So when they were first looking through my hair, they were like, okay, so what you're probably going to need to do, since there's some damage to it, I guess from like tension and breakage and things like that, and it was kind of brittle and dry, she was like, you need to, we're going to deep condition it here, wash it, blow dry it, press it here, and then come back in a week, and then we'll do your color service then. So mind you, I trust her. Like, she's looking out for me. She thinks this is the healthiest option for my hair. So that's exactly what they do. And I'm going to insert a picture of how it looked after she pressed it the first time. Or, sorry, how the younger stylist pressed it, because it wasn't the lady that did it last time. So I keep my hair straight for a week. I had the appointment booked for the following Monday, full 7 days after. I didn't do much manipulating to it. I didn't like wash it until then. She told me to keep it dry so that we can just put the color in when I get back. And this second appointment is where everything started to absolutely fall apart. So this time when I come in, the lady that did my hair last year, which is the same lady that told me to come back in a week, she wasn't there at all. So it was the young stylist that pressed it the prior week, and a second stylist who I wasn't familiar with. So literally all we said was hello, because mind you, there's a language barrier. She doesn't speak the best English. Like, she's the least proficient in English out of all the stylists, but I'm not, you know, opposed to navigating through a language barrier. So she just sits me down and immediately starts, I guess, putting the bleach on some of the strands first, because it's not a full head service. It's just balayage. So it's just bits and pieces here and there of color. So she's like kind of washing out the sections, like section by section. So I'm back and forth from the wash bowl a lot. And what that kind of caused to happen is, like, some of the pieces of, like, you know, aluminum foil that they have to put on it, some of the pieces were kind of sitting for kind of a long time. But then again, it's been a year since I've had this service, so I didn't really remember how they did it. So as I'm back and forth from the bowl, I go to my snap camera and I notice my curls are like gone. So between the time that I got there and like me going back and forth from the bowl, whatever chemical she was putting in my hair, I don't know if that's what caused the curls to fall out. Well, I found out later. But I'm looking in my camera, I'm like, where are my curls? Like, it's stringy and gross and like nasty. So that's when I knew something was starting to go wrong. But then she finishes with that and she kind of shows me the color. She's like, it's good, like bien. And I'm like, I kind of wanted it more of a brown shade because it was like blonde. And I'll put a picture in of the color I'm talking about, because I literally just wanted a lighter brown. So I'm like, in order to get the color that I came here to pay for, we had to go back to the bowl, and she actually started mixing whatever color dye that they have to use for it. So I'm back in the bowl again. And then now what I'm feeling is like this toner, I guess, because I asked the second stylist that was in there, like, what is this? Is this a conditioner? And she's like, no, it's a toner. And I'm like, okay, because it has a really strong smell. And she's kind of putting it like all around here, even on my hairline, around my entire head. So then she puts the color in and like rinses my head out again with this really strong smelling chemical. And mind you, while I'm in the bowl, a lot of like Spanish speaking is happening, because again, that language barrier. So I don't know what they're talking about like while I'm sitting here, and I don't like really care that much until she sits me in the chair to go and get my blow dry and press. And I kind of get a glimpse of myself in the mirror before she starts, and I'm like, I know I had more hair than this coming in. Like, I had a head full of hair when I walked in these doors. But I'm like, nah, maybe that's just because it's wet and all that. Maybe that's just because it's wet. So she starts blow drying it, and I noticed she just went straight in with the heat, like no heat protectant or anything. But I remember there's a language barrier, so if I just say, hey, can you put some heat protectant on, she's not gonna understand what I'm saying. So I put in my Google Translate heat protectant, translated it to Spanish, and played it out loud. I was like this: protector de calor. And when I play that, she's like, oh. And then she gives me maybe 2 sprays of heat protectant and continues with the blow drying. And the blow drying process didn't take nearly as long as it did last time, which is kind of fueling my concern for it. Did I lose some hair while I was in that bowl? And then the press, when she starts pressing my hair, she did chase it with a comb, but when she got to the ends and started pressing the ends, it sounded like fish being fried. Like, my ends were so severely damaged from whatever chemical that was that it fried my hair completely. But still, by this point, I don't know how bad the damage is. Like, I still don't fully know the extent of the damage to my head. So she finishes, and I go to the bathroom because I did have to pee, and I look and I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm just kind of going crazy. So I pay and then leave because it starts pouring rain and I'm the last client out. And then I sit in the car and I try and put this hair in a ponytail. And the ponytail is not nearly as full as it was that morning. I'm like, whatever happened from when I got there to the bowl to the press, half of my hair fell out without me knowing.
Like, just to kind of help y'all conceptualize what I mean, I walked out of the salon, reach up to my head, and imagine half the hair you came in those doors with is not there. Like, it's thin, it's lifeless, it's damaged. I literally sobbed so hard.
So I call my mom and I explain to her what happened, and I drive home. I'm sobbing the entire way home, and then she takes these pictures that I'm about to insert right here. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? It's Monday, I'm moving Friday. Who's gonna be able to take me on such short notice? Because all I know is I can't keep it like this. Like, the smell, it smelled so bad. It smelled like burnt chemicals. So like the inside of my bonnet smelled bad. It was just horrible. It was so bad. I'm missing so much hair. I'm missing length. I'm missing everything. So I end up getting an appointment in the salon at the mall, and I'm actually really thankful for the ladies that work there. I'm so glad they were able to help me. And one of the main stylists that works there, she walked past me. I explained to her what happened, and she was like, yeah, that's not the first time something like that has happened, like from a Dominican salon. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, they be sneaking relaxer in the conditioner. What? When I tell y'all, I started getting mad all over again, because by this point I'm kind of like over it because it's getting chopped off anyway. But I'm like, that's why my curls disappeared. They put a relaxer in my hair without me knowing, on top of damage, and my hair shed while I was in that wash bowl. I forgot to mention this, but I did get my money back the very following day. I got it all back, because if I hadn't gotten it back, it would have been an extra issue, and my mom was literally about to sue them had I not got my money back first ask. But yeah, so I get my hair cut, and it's looking kind of like something now, and it got a lot of the damage cut off. But even when I got the deep condition with this most recent appointment, my curls didn't bounce back. So all of this it made so much sense, like now knowing how all my hair basically disappeared. They put a relaxer in it and I didn't know. So all in all, I totally regret returning to that salon. But as the professional, why would you tell me to come back and get a service that my hair isn't in good enough condition for? Like, she should have denied me the service, just like she told me the first time to come back later. Like, if you knew my hair wasn't in good condition, don't service me, and definitely don't put a relaxer in because I didn't ask for one. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, I mean, everything's somewhat okay now. I don't know what I'm gonna do like when I grow back out even, but that's my story about how I became Lexi.